Hey, my name is Quinn. I'm the designer of the UpDesk, my Year 12 major project for design and tech. In this video, I'll go over a few topics such as what inspired me, a little bit of a project outline, some problems that I ran into and how I managed those problems, what was the outcome of them, and did I meet my criteria for success at the end of all of that. I'll also go over an aesthetic guide of how to style my desk in a modern and contemporary home as it's the intended environment for my desk, and I'll just give you a few tips and tricks of what I used in my own home. The motivation to build an ergonomic desk came when I was in a double design and tech lesson and I kept getting sore backs and found myself having to stand up and walk around every 15 minutes or so. I first thought of designing a comfortable and ergonomic chair, but after researching ergonomics, I found that it can be beneficial to stand instead of sitting. I did some research on the problem and I found out it wasn't just me having this problem. I think due to the technological advancements and people being able to work from home, sedentary lifestyle has increased and physical activity has declined. There are some stats outlining how big of a problem this is. For example, physical inactivity contributes to over 3 million preventable deaths worldwide each year. Physical inactivity is the second highest cause of cancer in Australia, behind tobacco smoking, and the National Health Survey shows that nearly half of employed people aged 18 to 64 describe their day as mostly sitting. This problem clearly needs to be addressed in a practical sense by making working hours less sedentary and incorporating ways to keep the workspace more active. So standing and raising desks is just one of the ways that I thought I can help contribute to this epidemic. I wanted my project to be different from the rest, so I decided to make it out of almost entirely recycled materials to help the environment and prevent landfill. Because some furniture manufacturers have really poor environmental considerations. IKEA, for example, is known for using 1% of the world's wood each year. And I wanted to prove that furniture can be made from wood that we've already chopped down to do the environment a favour. So what is my project then? Well, I've transformed an old abandoned office desk into an ergonomic modern raising desk. It has various interactive features and my desk will have a modern and minimalistic theme for a home office or work environment. All of the timber is used from upcycled parts. 90% of the desk is sourced from an old office desk I got from Salvos, and the other 10% was some old fence posts I found on the street. I had planned to buy a singular hydraulic pump in order to raise my desk. The problem with this, and the difference to most other standing desks, is that most of the desks have two pushing points. Only having one pushing point created many headaches and problems in which I had to navigate and stay creative to find new solutions. The first problem I encountered was getting the desk to raise without shaking, as the legs that extend are not locked in. There was some wobble side to side when the desk was touched or raised up and down, and obviously this would be a major problem as the desk would not be functional or safe to use. I thought that having all the weight was being pushed through one singular point, the desk is having a hard time balancing, so I had to think of a way to spread and disperse the force that was being pushed against the desk on a larger surface area. I attempted to create a system that accomplished this by inserting a rod through the pinhole instead of the pin that normally just locks it in, that reached out and connected to the bottom and the side of the table. This successfully spread the load, but unfortunately it was not enough to stop the table from shaking. Another problem I encountered was that the legs that extended out were rubbing against the steel, creating friction and shaking the desk even more. It was these two factors that made my desk unstable. It wasn't that my legs didn't slide in and out of the steel properly, it was that the bracket connecting the steel to the feet of the desk wasn't completely square. So when the timber tried to slide in and out of the steel, it was rotated slightly, causing the edges to be dragged. And I couldn't re-square the bracket. I sanded down the edges just enough so that even though the bottom of the legs aren't square, the extending legs could fit and slide friction free. Even after all of this problem solving, when the standing desk was up, the legs would still move slightly, creating wobble. I had to make a design compromise in order to solve this problem. I would have to sacrifice the accuracy of the standing desk to any height to ensure strong and stable functioning. This would require me using a peg system to fully lock the legs in place once they were up. This meant that the desk could not be raised to any exact height whilst being fully stable, as the peg holes were 50mm apart. As you can see, I ran into many problems when constructing the desk, but that's all part of the design process. And after all, I believe the desk meets all of my criteria for success, and I'm very happy with it. I would like to demonstrate the aesthetic capacity and versatility of the desk. It is designed for a home office, and I understand that people may style their desk differently. So I style my desk in 3 different ways to show that really anyone who has this desk is able to make it work within their homes. I set it up as like a home office with a monitor and keyboard. I let my mum set it up how she would use it, and I also set it up how I would use it. The images show that the desk certainly fits into a modern aesthetic, and due to its minimalistic nature, anyone can style it how they want to, as what's on top of the desk is what makes it personalized and fit for the environment. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.